Well, that's because he just came in and got tires, right? We saw the same thing at the very start of the race.
But of course, Jan, you don't want to lift. You just want to keep it gassed up and go.
Yes,
no matter if it's moving around a little bit like that, you just gas it and go, don't you?
That's right.
They're lined up better now than they were at the start of the race.
Look at Dixon.
3 wide back here. Dixon on top.
Are you thinking points when you're up top there?
I would think you were thinking points all the time now if you're in the championship battle.
Look at that shot.
Oh, man. 14 cars separated by 1 second.
Oh, that's a tight group right there.
Man, look at this.
Watch the car in the middle. Ralph Matos.
Excuse me, look out. Coming through.
They didn't touch, but they got closer than already being close.
Mario in the middle of a 3 wide.
Look at this, isn't just one group that's 3 wide. They're 3 wide, 3, 4 deep. Dixon, though, is very impressive. He wants to get up to the front there on the high side. So earlier we were saying he wasn't as good on the high side. Well, forget we were saying that.
There's Servia. He's got a shot of him coming up high as well.
Look at that pack.
Just intense wheel-to-wheel racing.
At 211 miles an hour, they're doing this at an average.
Oh, the intensity in your arms, your forearms is just, you're watching everything going on around you, and you're just waiting for a yellow to catch your breath.
Great action. You can see it on IndyCar nonstop.
He is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He is just straightforward. Right now, he is doing battle with Buddy Rice. Buddy Rice got a nose ahead across the line last time by. But they continue to go side by side, lap after lap. Todd Harris.
Well, Paul, interesting verbiage coming out of the Buddy Rice pits moments ago. They said, hey, buddy, don't worry about Dan Weldon. This week, he is the Andretti Green Rabbit. Scott, what do you make of that?
You know, the key thing right now for these guys is to stay safe. I'm seeing some stuff out there right now where guys are actually just going almost 4 wide. And I got to tell you, it's making me just a little nervous that we might have something happening here before the end of the day.
I wouldn't think, if the radio call was from Ray Hall Letterman to Buddy Rice, that it's that Weldon is a rabbit. I wouldn't think they'd put him out there as a rabbit. He's in the championship. They can't afford to stick him out, I wouldn't think.
Weldon's concerned about winning the race right now for himself, simply from the fact that he knows that he still has a hope in the championship if there's still a couple of races remaining.
Well,
boy, it just doesn't get much better than this, does it? Look at this 5-car battle for the lead. Marco Andretti is running to the high side of Ryan Briscoe.
And Briscoe's teammate Elio's trying to kind of keep Marco honest and Briscoe honest by getting even higher up in that 3rd lane.
And Ed Carpenter is up on the high side also.
When you see that speed there of Marco Andretti, their overall lap times have dropped 2 miles an hour as soon as they went 2 by 2. When they were running more single file, they're running 2:14. Now they're down to 2:11, 2:12. It slowed it down. Everyone else is packing up behind.
I was going to say, the people that makes really happy is when you're back about 8th back and you see 2, 2, 2 all lined up in front of you, like, here we come, guys. Here we come. We're going to be part of this party. You just don't get a sense of the banking of this racetrack looking back from that camera at that pack going 3 wide coming down in there. You got to get out and walk on this racetrack, or go in a streetcar and go slow, and it almost feels like it's tipping over. That gives you a better sense of the 18 degrees of banking around this place.
First 10 cars within a second of each other. On board with Ryan Hunter-Ray.
Boy, Sarah Fisher likes that clean air.
Yeah.
She's staying there, and she looks in the mirror and says, wow, do I have a group of people on my tail.
Right on board there, Hunter-Ray looking up there at Kanaan, just the movement in the car, just the loading up of that right side as you bury into this banking.
Once again, Ed Carpenter is a player, running 4th.
Guys, if he could push enough pressure onto them, and there'd be a problem where the 2 Andretti Green cars tangle, which we certainly have seen with other teams before, that would give him a decided advantage. Whoa, did you see that?
All the cars in the back are getting that dirty air from the big cluster of cars in the front, Paul. Driving in the back section when they're together like this, man, I got to tell you, it's one of the toughest things to do. You never know where your car is going to land on the racetrack next.
Thomas moves for the outside. Want to show you this with Felipe Giafoni and Costa Matura. That was that puff of smoke that we saw just a second ago.
Koski's car in the bottom, sliding up into Giafoni's car on the high side. As I mentioned, very difficult to keep your car on the low side with all those cars in front with that disturbed air.
Buddy Rice moves to the high.
Take a look as we've got 3 cars going side by side as they have now got the 2 car of A.J. Foyt, the 4th in this mix. And again, Elio needs to lead the most laps, so he's got the low side. The sandwich meat in the middle is Briscoe, and Weldon's on the high side.
That's 3 abreast, Marty, and they're now doing speeds about 212, 213 that last time around. I mean, this is just a lot slower than I thought it was going to be. Almost looks like the front row starting at the Indianapolis 500 when they go 3 wide like that.
It has allowed this to become an 11-car battle, and look at Weldon now. He's going to stay up in that high groove. Is there enough clean pavement up there? Remember, we got a little marbles that'll start building up as the race progresses, but so far so good. We've seen 3 wide here before working, and right now, Weldon is right there.
And this is where the spotters are so important, especially for Briscoe right now, who is in the middle. He's getting the information about what's up top and what's below.
Dixon has dropped back to 7th, and this is his worst nightmare right now.
Still 3 wide.
Well, he does. If anything happens in front of him, Marty, he does not want to be involved in this right now, because this is what we talked about this morning in the drivers' meeting. Afterwards, he came to me and said, I am just worried about stuff that's out of my control, a mechanical problem or an accident up front that could take me out. Jackaroo?
With just a little more than 50 laps to go in our race here at Chicagoland Speedway, the top 10 cars are running within a second of each other. The leader is Dan Weldon. Second place is Ryan Hunter-Reay, and we're on board with him. Looking back to Dixon, Power, Andretti, Kanaan, Briscoe, Ray Hall, Castro Neves, and Franchitti.
And these are all real positions. This is not pit strategy. They all stopped at relatively the same time, within a lap or 2. So they're not off sequence. These guys have made their way to the front after great pit work. And now Ryan Briscoe is back there, not leading on low downforce, struggling.
Let's still size up Briscoe. Ooh, look at Power.
Yeah.
Do you think Clive Howell's on the radio saying, hey, we're not racing those guys for the points?
No,
as he's going by.
He gave up on that one.
Oh, look at this.
Wow.
Andretti looks high.
And look at there's Briscoe trying that high side. Look at it. Looked like he drifted up a little bit more there, Jan, just tagging.
Maybe more horsepower.
First 6 positions and still running, generally 2 by 2. Giafoni has dropped to 6th. Unser Jr. and Hornish still side by side.
Looks like Cheever might be able to come up and give you a push. He's able to hang with you up there. Still inside, still inside. Cheever's coming, gonna help. Cheever's looking outside.
But take a look at speeds as they cross the line here. 218, 219 back in the field, 220 for Dan Weldon. 10 to go now. Nobody's given up. Nobody's given an inch.
And Paul, as the field tightens up right now, the guys that are back there in 4th, 5th, and 6th, they need to make a move to get themselves up there right behind the first 2 if they're going to have a shot at winning this. Now, the key thing that usually happens is that one of the guys in the front will make a desperate move and maybe open up for all the guys in the back of the pack. But right now, Sam Hornish cannot afford any mistakes. If he has to finish second, he's going to collect a lot of points here today.
Nobody can afford a mistake at the front. The entire top 10 are all running right together.
Franchitti's not going to help him. Dara Franchitti's going to stay low and help Dixon. So someone may have to go high to help Castro Neves.
They're coming.
Maybe it'll be Marias.
Yeah, it might be Marias.
I tell you, last year, Ed Carpenter running 4th there. We know what run he had at Kentucky. You know, dominated
Here comes
the
Marias.
last 25 laps. Look
Look at him go.
He's a rocket ship.
If he can stay high, he'll help Castro Neves.
Yeah, I was going to say Carpenter was going to be that guy because of how good he was in Kentucky.
Now see, Castro Neves looks in the mirror. He says, oh, now I've got help up top. I have help up top.
So slide up high. Come on, Mario, catch up to me.
You know, one thing to consider with Mario Moraes, when you have those 20 pushes to the overtake button, Mario Moraes has already used 13 of those allotted to him. That he used to his advantage to get up there on that high side.
There he comes, Jack.
Yep.
Castroneves is like, come on, keep coming, baby.
Well, this is going to just really give us that pack racing like we saw, like we saw yesterday in warm-up. Look at that.
If you're just sitting in the fans, if you're sitting in the stands or you're just sitting at home on the couch, just look at this.
Look at Schechter. Schechter was thinking, I'm going to poke up top and go 3 wide on you boys.
And TK's got a good run going.
Time. So 3 lead changes, 3 leaders. Schechter has just been awesome to watch, though. What a wonderful performance he's given us. He is due into the pits in 2 laps. Again, please don't go 3 wide and do it again. Mira now making a move on Tony Kanaan. The 17 car, blue and white, sitting up high. And it looks like Franchitti has got it going.
13 of them are within a second. Dario Franchitti leads Weldon, Power, Kanaan, and Andretti.
And Briscoe, one of those guys that was going backwards just a couple laps ago, now has had a big run and momentum, has come back up a little bit up on the high side of the racetrack.
And look at Marco. He's up on the high side now. Boy, Dan Weldon has had just a great race. He has run up front all night. Currently running in second, but with a battle.
Look at Briscoe. You know, we're just looking him up on the high side. I mean, we just rode him off 2 laps ago with going backwards, but with not having, you know, that downforce in the car. He's fast if he can run flat and not have to get out of it.
And not far behind him, Justin Wilson has come from way back to join this group. So now he's a player. Look at how many cars still have a shot in this race. Danica Patrick now getting into the back of this picture as well.
And that was Wilson just looking, as you talked about it, there was him just looking up on the high side at the tail end of this race.
Less than 10 laps to go when they come down this time. It'll be 9 to go. There are the 4 drivers who did not take tires on the last pit stop. Franchitti was among them, and he still leads.
And we'll see if that plays out as we get into the last 4 or 5 laps. Are they going to lose a little bit of that extra bite that you get from those Firestones with the wear on them or not? Well, we heard from Al Spire. I think these guys are good to go. Great call.
14 drivers within a second.
Now with 9 laps to go, there's the one thing that Robbie Floyd said about a radio communication to Will Power about not having enough fuel to get to the end, which that doesn't make sense to me. He only needed 3.5 seconds of fuel. He should be fine. Yep. But if that's true, that could... Oh, Briscoe! Did he hit the wall?
No, he didn't. And it was Ryan Hunter-Reay just kind of pushed him up there, and he had to get up there and got in that grade. Now he dumped the throttle and lost that momentum.
He's pretty much out of it.
Still there, right rear. Still there, right rear. Outside with Herta. Outside with Herta.
5 wide going into 1. Franchitti says, boys, give me a lane.
Dario Franchitti tries the high side, thinks better of it, backs it back down as they go down the back straightaway. They get into that single file one more time. It's Weldon who keeps going up and out, trying to get a run around Sam Hornish Jr. as we ride on board with number 11, Tony Kanaan. He is the defending IndyCar Series champion.
And Todd, we talked about the spotters. All that spotter information going into Danica's ear. These guys are hearing this and girl all the way around here for 300 miles.
And Tony Kanaan has passed 4 cars on that last lap alone. Unbelievable as he started 12th, and here Kanaan is now moving up on Danica Patrick, who was the pole sitter. Danica has now slid back to 4th place with Kanaan just on the outside.
And be fast.
Ryan Hunter-Reay has the most overtake assist, pushes left. Look at him slice and dice. Tony Kanaan going to the low side.
That was Briscoe here just quickly on board. And remember, he doesn't have as much aero as this guy, TK. So when you get up in traffic, that car moves around a lot more than having that extra downforce that TK has on.
Marco Andretti to his right. Briscoe right behind.
Dan Weldon finished second at the Indianapolis 500. He's running second here tonight.
This is all just, I mean, so quick in terms of the way all this happens.
Up at the top, yeah, as we see the order that they are running in, you also see the number of overtake assists they have remaining. Look at this, 4 wide. Wow. Oh,
look out, Ryan.
Ryan is way up in the gray, kicking up the dust.
Yeah, safe to say that's not premium grip. Whoa, is that tight back there.
Playing to the original storyline that if you go with the low downforce, you're doing, I mean, it looked like he was unbeatable when he was on the front.
Yep.
Now he's stuck mid-pack, and he's just going backwards.
And we knew it was going to be good, guys.
5 to go.
Can't beat this.
No, we knew it was going to be good.
Ooh, Marias wiggling a bit. As Ryan heads for the top again, and look at Rahal, he's way up there.
I just remember at the top of the show talking about Graham and Marias and everything they needed.
Briscoe edges ahead.
I don't need no stinking overtake. Look at this.
And he led that lap. He was ahead of him at the line right there. Now, do you
look at how close they are?
Do you think Briscoe can play the same game? No, he can't play the same game because he's got Rahal behind. I was going to say, do you think he can play the same game he played with Ed Carpenter just to beat him off the line?
Here comes Graham Rahal. He's going to help out Briscoe, but stay behind him. Don't go around him.
13 cars are on the lead lap, and they're all running within 0.6 of a second.
So
and Jan Rahal has used the overtake button to carve his way to the front. He's pushed that button 3 times in the last 3 laps.
Look at Matos there as go 3 wide for the lead off of corner 4. Dixon has the advantage. Look at Rahal, though.
And Rahal's in green. Means he's on the button.
Look at this.
Push the pass. Dario inside.
They'll come down for the white flag this time. Look at Matos up on top in the 2 car.
And Briscoe's using the last push. It's out. It's over.
Done. They come down for the white flag. One more tour of the 1.5 miles at Chicagoland Speedway, and Briscoe leads by a foot or so.
But now what Briscoe wants to do, he wants to maintain that position on the high side and hopefully get a run off of 4.
And he's getting help from Marias. Mario Marias comes back. Jimmy Vasser said the car wasn't as fast, but now it's fast. He's helping him.
And he's got momentum. Not enough to get up on that high side.
Meanwhile, they're 4 wide behind. Here comes the win, and who is it going to be?
Look at that, Briscoe!
Briscoe has the advantage, and he gets the win.
Oh, man.
Briscoe, back from the frightening accident in 2005, but he's put all that behind him now as he records the victory. And the pilot has made the landing on the aircraft carrier, and now you can relax a little bit and take a breath.